Okay, after you create your graph, your standard calibration curve, it should look something like this. It should have labels for the axes, and it should have a title with your last name. It should have a trend line and an equation. We're going to add our data points for our unknowns here on the vertical axis, the absorbances. In order to do that, we're going to go back to the data, and we can see we have listed the absorbances here for A and B, but we have 0 for how much the concentration is because we don't know what the concentration is just yet. To add these data points, right-click on your existing data point and you're going to click Selected Data or Select Data. We want to put them not in the same set of data, but a different set. So we're going to click the plus sign at the bottom. This will add a new series, and we can change the name by typing in the name box. You can call this your unknowns. To select your values, click in the corner of the X box, go back to your data sheet, and highlight the zeros because we want 0 concentration. Then click in the Y box and highlight the absorbances. Click in the corner of the box at the top where it says Select Data Source. It will return you to this page and click OK. Now you can see there are the 2 data points corresponding to A and B on the y-axis, but it doesn't show what the concentration is because we don't know what that is. They're a different color from the other data points that we have. To determine the actual concentrations, we will use the equation that we came up with on our trend line. And we can plug that in where it says concentration actual, and you can see the formula is in there in order to determine what it is based on the slope from our trend line. Now to add the tie lines, I'm going to enlarge this a little bit to see a little bit better. We are going to click on Insert, and then this middle box which has shapes. The second shape there is just a line, so we're going to click on that line, and then we're going to connect the orange dot on the y-axis all the way over to the dotted trend line. To add a vertical line, I'm again going to draw a line. Now, for some reason, it's not starting where I put the cursor, so I'm just going to make a vertical line and move it. It might work best if you don't have this zoomed in when you're trying to create your line, but if you do have it like this, you should be able to pick up and move the line. We can see that we have it meeting right at the trend line and then running into the x-axis. I'm going to repeat this process for my other unknown, creating a trend line. Here I've made it a little bit too long. When I have that square box, I can change the length. I don't want it to come out to the other trend line or to the other tie line. I want it to come just to the trend line, so I'm going to back it up there. And you can see I have a height of 0.03. That means it is not exactly horizontal, so I'm going to shift it until the height says 0. And then I'm going to put in the vertical part of the tie line as well. So let's take a closer look at the tie lines here. Where they come down vertically from the trend line should be about what the concentration is from the equation. So one of them was just over 1, one of them was 1.55, and you can see that on the horizontal axis here. Now we're going to label these data points. To do that, we want to right-click on the data points. So you want to make sure that it highlights the data point, not the axes or the line. So it can be a little bit tricky trying to get on the right thing. And so once you've got it clicked, you'll see there are circles around it. And you're going to select Format the Data Labels. So it will initially have checked a Y value, meaning it's going to put the label as whatever the number is on the Y-axis. We don't want that. We want our values to come from a cell, which means we can type whatever it is. So instead of having these blank boxes, I'm going to highlight these two boxes. Just off the screen it says A and B, and so now you can see A and B appear in the chart. And when I click to the side to remove the highlighting, there's a little line that shows which one is A and which one is B. I'm going to do a little tidying up here to make sure that the lines are intersecting with the trend line. So you'll see that. Now, if you can't do this easily on your computer, if you find it too frustrating, it is okay to print out your graph as it was at the beginning of this video and then use a straight edge such as a ruler to draw in those tie lines. Now remember, we don't use the tie lines to make our actual measurement. They are just for guiding the eye, and it is the equation up in the upper right hand corner that tells us how to get more precisely what the concentration is. So when you turn in your graph, you want to make sure that you have the tie lines shown for A and for B. You want to make sure that you have all of your labels, including what is being measured along with what is the units. You want to make sure you have your data points clearly visible, both for the standard and for the unknowns. And you want to have your trend line along with the equation and the R squared.